Jesus is what the Word, little w, became, not one-to-one equal with the pre-existing Word. So the mistake begins when we say in 1:1, in the beginning was the capital W-O-R-D. It doesn't say that. In the beginning was the Word. The Word has occurred, that word has occurred hundreds of times in the Old Testament. It means an utterance, an idea, if you like. That word, becomes a human being only when Jesus is born, enters the world. It's also the word for the gospel in the New Testament. In the beginning was the gospel plan. In the beginning was God's huge idea. And that huge idea was with him. It was his project. For something to be with you in Hebrew thinking, it means it's your baby, as we might say in American English. It's your project, the thing that is precious to you. The idea was itself, at that stage, God himself, not somebody else. So when you get theos in logos, the word was God. The theos there is emphatic. The word was God himself. It wasn't somebody else. So it's quite misleading to put a capital W on the word there in one. So let's try this again. In the beginning was the idea, the gospel project. It was with God in his mind, and it was fully reflective of what God was, because as a man thinks, so is he. That word then eventually became a man when Jesus was born, naturally conceived, begotten, brought into existence in the womb of his mother, as all human beings must be. The whole of the creation was with Jesus in mind. That's what Peter said, that he was foreknown before the foundation of the world, not existing. 1 Peter 1:20 is a good comment on this. He was foreknown, known ahead of time. That's fine. The word was made through him, with him in mind. And he himself became a human being only, I think, in 1:14. I don't think that this is a reference in John 1:1 to the beginning of the ministry of Jesus. That makes things more difficult, because in 1:14, the word became flesh, became a human being. I think indicating that the word was not a human being in 1:1. So I'm translating 1:1 as in the beginning was the idea. The idea was in God's mind, and the idea was fully expressive of God himself. Expressly, it wasn't another self. Once you say it was another self, then you have a human being who is pre-existent. And I don't know what pre-existence even means. Yeah, it makes better sense to me to see this transition in verse 14. It's not going to ruin everything if you don't do it that way. And heaven forbid that Christians should be seen wrangling over subtle points.